Today we're going to be talking about the iBuyPowered Steam Box. Now the current footage that you guys are currently looking at is me playing GTA 4, playing with all the mods, policing mods, all that funness that LCPD First Response 1.0 likes to give you. If you guys want to download it, I've given you guys links and to my rating video that I did for you guys too. So overall let's get started. Now the Steam Box has some interesting stuff that's coming out about it. The most interesting thing that most people might say is that the specs, because we do have a lot of the specs actually, and the pricing. So what it's going to have in it is a multi-core AMD processor. Now from this point it seems like the whole thing, like AMD is just doing really good in the mobile kind of gaming area. Everyone's kind of using them right now in gaming right now. You got Xbox, PlayStation, not Nintendo though, which is a huge shame. But it looks like the Steam Box is still going to use AMD technology as well. It's good on their side, then the publishers don't have to recode a lot of stuff for the processor, so that's a nice little thing that they've added. At this point we don't have what kind of processor. I'd imagine it'd be an FX chip, which would probably be a 4 chip, maybe a 6 core, or it could be possibly, which I don't really think so, but it could be an 8 core. All the competition that's going up against them in the Xbox, PlayStation, they're all using 8 core technology too. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was 8 cores in that thing as well. It's also coming with 500 gigabytes of memory. Now the website did say it could be SSD, but something doesn't make sense here. If the console is going to cost $500, and SSD technology memory is costing $1 a gigabyte, just to get memory alone in this thing is going to cost as much as the console. So I don't believe that they will be putting SSD technology into this thing. SSD technology, I have it on my gaming rig. It's nice to have. Everything boots up quicker. My main boot ups are all on my SSD, but I use it HHD to save stuff I don't like to use here and there. So I know for a fact that it's going to be HHD technology. Now if you guys are wondering what HHD is, I've kind of put you guys a bit of a description, kind of what I'm talking about. So basically an SSD is just a solid state drive, nothing moves. An HHD is stuff that moves in it, which causes more failures and not as quick. It's got to find that by moving things back and forth, so it makes it slower. Not as reliable, but it's cheaper. It's like 25 cents a gigabyte, so it makes sense that they would head in that direction. It's also going to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled. It's also going to come with a disk drive, and it's going to come with an AMD Radeon R9 260. Now, from what I've been hearing, this card is pretty much the same as what you'll pay for an R9, or actually not pay for, but you'll get the same kind of specs and stuff through an R9 270X. Now this card has been reviewed by so many people for the 260, and what they say is that this card is the same as the 270, it's just clocked at lower speeds. Linus has talked about this before, and it's seeming like if you could just overclock your system a little bit, you could pretty much get a 270X. So that's things just to keep paying attention to. And pretty much that's all the specs we really have. Now there's a few things that I don't agree with what Steam Box is doing at this point, and I've actually tested it and I've seen people also test it as well. A lot of games that have been ported from the PC or even Mac over to Linux operating systems, because this thing is Linux based. What we've noticed is that you don't get as good of a frame rate that you would get through a PC. You can get all the same specs, everything the same. Run it through Linux and you don't get the same kind of graphics that you normally would get. These ports are not working very well, and at this point I actually had a choice to go over to the Steam Box technology interfaces and stuff. I know links, and I'll actually put them down in the description box, but there wasn't much reason to go to Linux at this point, and I felt like if I'm going to lose frame rate with my gaming rig, and what you guys are currently watching is through my gaming rig right now. I've actually put in a little counter at the top of your guys' screen just to show you what my computer can do at really high settings with everything maxed out. What you can notice very quickly is that the frame rate's a heck of a lot better on PC versus what you'll get through a Linux-based operating system. So that's a bit of a concern for me with this new Steam Box running on Linux technology. If you're going to pay for really good stuff, I like my stuff to run really quick with the software. Also, you will notice very quickly that this has a lot of the similarities what Xbox is trying to do, and being that it's almost the exact same price as what the consoles are coming out at, this is going to give Xbox a run for its money, and PlayStation. If this Steam Box comes out, you're looking at you're looking at $100 more on PlayStation and the same price for an Xbox One. And this thing you can upgrade, you can basically intensify your graphics if you know you have the power. So it's a nice little thing that they are bringing out. My next little problem with with the Steam box at this point, they're launching many different versions. Other than like people that are working on the consoles right now, they say that, okay, all the consoles are the same, okay? If I make this game, I know it works on every single one. I'm not gonna sit there and try to code them and make them all different so the game works on every single Xbox. It works on all of them because I know all the hardware is the same. But if Steambox owners are changing out their hardware, if they're buying different versions of it, then the producer of the game has to worry about this, and they have to basically make sure the game can run on every single console, which is a huge concern. They just have to basically write it like they would on PC, where you can change out the graphics. The thing that they should put into this mixture is that there's a little tester before the game starts. They test what your graphics are, they test what your computer could take, and it will test what you get best at 60 frames a second. So that's a nice little thing that they should throw into the mix. There hasn't been anything confirmed, but people have been talking about that. But other than that, that's pretty much all my hugest concerns. Now the last thing which I do want to bring up is that to buy a Steam box to build a computer, you're going to save a heck of a lot more on what you would on a Steam box. A Steam box for 400 or 500 bucks, you can't build a computer for that kind of pricing. I put all the pricing down in the description box. Nothing for processor yet. I'll kind of fill that in when we do have kind of some news stories to talk about, but that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, or you just hate Google+, just leave me a video response down in the video area, and I'll check it out and give you my full view of what I think about it. So if you guys also want to use the comment boxes, go ahead, but I don't blame you guys if you don't want to. If you guys want to hit that like and subscribe, it also helps me out and tells me if you guys like my footage. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and remember to check out all the other videos that we're going to be offering you.